Barges are flat boats that carry all kinds of cargo. For some companies on the ACF, the use of barges is an important way to ship and receive their products. One such company is Ergon of Bainbridge. The company receives liquid asphalt by barge or train and distributes it from their terminal on the Flint River for paving projects around the area. Johnny Waycaser is the assistant manager.
The towboat and the barge comes up from the Gulf of Mexico. It's 100 miles to the locks. It's 26 miles from the locks to this dock. They bring two barges at a trip. They'll leave one at the mouth of the river, and they'll hire a contractor to sit with that barge, and they'll bring one up at a time, and it'll lock through the locks and come up the Flint River. It'll come right out from our dock, and it'll turn around, and the towboat will back up into this slip. The barge will rest up against these pilings, and it'll be tied off, and this arm on the dock will be hooked to the barge, to the pump, or to their discharge arm, and then it'll be pumped up the hill to our tanks. So it's 126 miles from the Gulf to this facility. 26 miles of it is Flint River, 100 miles of it is Apalachicola River. And the Corps of Engineers, is their responsibility to maintain the channel to give you the proper depth for shipping up the river. But the Florida Fish and Wildlife has sued them, and it's in court, it's pending in court until it's settled. And until then, we can't use the river because there's not enough draft, not enough depth. So we have to use rail service to get our product in. It's costing us an extra $650,000 a year to do it by rail versus barge. The environmentalists have used the sturgeon. I think the sturgeon is one of them. The mussels, various species of animals they say are endangered. They use those as a means to, they say it's going to endanger them to do any dredging. But the only thing is they've been here since the beginning of time, and they're still here, and dredging was going on from the 1950s till 2003. So, and they're still here. In a good year, we'll get 1,200 rail cars, and to the same amount of product on barges would be 46 versus 1,200. So you can imagine the amount of emissions that are generated from the rail pushing that many rail cars, and we do it about 14 cars at a time. I think it's like 86 trips versus 23 trips. And but it's the volume is just huge comparing barge to rail.